Welcome everyone to this exciting interview segment. Today we have the pleasure of sitting down with Jake Epstein, star of the Hallmark Plus movie Unwrapping Christmas, Olivia's Reunion, and the Lifetime Sincerely Truly Christmas. Join us as we delve into Jake's insight into his characters and the challenges of filming this movies. Thank you for being here with us, Jake.
My pleasure. Nice to meet you.
My pleasure. Nice to meet you too. So, um, can you tell us a little bit about your character in Unwrapping Christmas, Olivia's Reunion?
Right. Well, in that movie, I play Ben, who is he's a failed writer. But I'll just before sort of talking about the movie, maybe I can just say what really drew me to this story was it's the story of two exes who had a big misunderstanding and a big breakup and haven't spoken in years, and then through a series of circumstances find themselves trapped in a cabin during a snowstorm. And this is very similar to my real life story with my now wife. Um, so when I read the script, I really wanted to do this and tell this story, and it's a little unusual, I think, for a Hallmark story. It's starting with two characters who not only have a history, but they have a really deep, complicated history. That's where we meet these two characters. So yeah, so Ben is he's a good guy. Yeah, like I said, he's a failed writer. And finds himself in this situation in a cabin, trapped with his ex girlfriend.
Okay, great. And what do you think makes this movie so special and captivating?
Well, like I just said, I mean, I think unlike a lot of these other Hallmark movies where you have these two characters who are strangers and they have some kind of meet cute and they meet and they fall in love, and this is two people who have already been together and had a horrible breakup and haven't spoken in years. That's where we meet them, but they've secretly, to each other, they're the ones that got away. And to have this sort of opportunity to really get to hash it out with an ex partner and really meet each other and fall in love during Christmas time under those circumstances, I think is pretty relatable and interesting. And starring Cindy Busby, who is just fantastic. She's so funny. She's an outstanding actor. So to have these scenes with me and her in a cabin is was very fun to shoot, and I think really captivating.
Great. And what was it like working with the rest of the cast and crew on set? Do you have scenes only with Cindy or with
It's the scenes are mostly with Cindy. There's some scenes with other characters too, but we had a blast. We're huge Jim Carrey fans, so we spent the entire movie shoot just quoting Ace Ventura and The Mask. Um, we cracked each other up. There were because we shot this in May and June. In We shot it in Ottawa, Canada. It was very hot, even though we were supposed to be, in December during a snowstorm. So when we'd have outdoor scenes, I called it the bathtub. This guy would show up with this big like bathtub bubble gun, and he would like bathtub a field with like bubbles and soap, and it would look like snow. But we would crack each other up because we'd be filming and there'd be bubbles coming up and popping all around us during these scenes. Very fun.
Great. And what can you tease about your character journey?
What can I
Tease.
tease?
Yeah.
What can I tease about my character's journey? I mean, I can say, I don't know. What can I tease about the character's journey? Um, I mean, I feel like he discovers that he had this big misunderstanding with his ex, and starts out quite awkward and a little bit angry, and to slowly discover that there was this misunderstanding and to slowly reconnect with this person. That I feel like it's pretty fun to watch, and makes it pretty intriguing.
Great. And what was your favorite scene or moment while filming this movie?
My favorite scene or moment. I mean, I'll have to say, like, one of the unique things about this movie is that it's one of four movies, right? It's in a series of four movies, all called Unwrapping Christmas, and there are moments in the movie where all four movies connect and interact. And so we shot for there was a few days on our movie when we were every character from every movie was on set with us, and it was sort of like camp. And it was a little bit absurd because we would shoot these scenes like one after another in front of each other, and not that there was any competition, everyone was lovely, but it was a little bit like, all right, it's you guys next up, let's see what you can do now. And it was very fun to do that in front of each other, and just like a wonderful funny group of people, so I love that.
Amazing. So, change of subject. Talking about the other project that come out this week,
Yeah.
Sincerely Christmas. Can you tell us a little bit about your character in Sincerely Truly Christmas?
Yes. So Sincerely Truly Christmas was actually shot a while ago. It was shot over a year ago,
Oh,
just coming out now.
yeah.
Um, yeah, uh what's really fun about this movie is it's you've got this character Christina who makes a wish and gets this power to be able to find out what everyone around her wants for Christmas. And so uh the reason she gets it is she's someone who's maybe overly truthful. She's honest to a fault, and because of it, she gets fired from her job. And she meets this real estate agent who has to sort of bend the truth. I don't want to use the word lie. Bends the truth for his job. He's a very good salesman, and they meet, and he has to help her get her job back. And in return, he has a strained relationship with his son, and she helps him connect with his son during Christmas time. So there's some really great themes. There's a lot of comedy in that movie. It's funny, I mentioned that me and Cindy Busby loved Jim Carrey. There's a movie called Liar Liar that it has reminiscences of that kind of movie. Um, and yeah, it's a really a joy to watch that movie. That one stars Paula Brancati.
Yeah, great. And what initially attracted you to your role in this movie? Truly.
What attracted me to the role in the movie? Well, so in the movie, I mentioned that my character has a complicated relationship with his son, and I actually just found out that my wife in real life was pregnant just before shooting that movie, and that it was going to be a boy. And it felt like the universe was sort of like, you're going to explore what it's like to be a dad. You're gonna work this out. And that was sort of, it felt like a gift from the universe to get to play that out in a really comedic and joyful way. And I loved shooting the scenes with my son.
Great. And what do you hope audiences will take away from watching this movie?
I mean, there's a great message about what's the line between honesty and lying. Of course, in life, it's a little bit of a gray zone, and so I feel like the movie really sort of pokes fun at what that line is and what the truth is and what honesty is and how in today's world honesty can get you in trouble. And then it's also, I think, just the storyline with watching a young father on his own connect with a son during Christmas time is really relatable. And um, my character, he wants to give his son the best life possible, and because of it, he has to work too much, and he never sees him. And so I feel like it's a movie that talks a lot about balance in work, in our conscience, in truth and lying, and so there's some nice messages for the audience.
Great.
But it's also just a really good time. It's a funny movie.
Yeah,
So I hope people are entertained.
I'm sure. So, and in this case, what can you tease about your character journey?
What can I tease? I had a hard time answering this question last time. What can I tease? I feel like I've maybe already teased the movie and the character. Um, yeah, I mean, all I'll say is that if I forget about the character just for a second, Paula Brancati is one of my dearest, oldest friends in real life. We shot Degrassi together a very long time ago. Our characters actually never interacted very much, but her and I became really close friends. And so when we found out we had this opportunity to film this movie together, I jumped at the chance. So it's very fun to film it, but because of our history, it's I think we have really great chemistry, and it's there's a love between us, but there's a friendship there. There's
Yeah,
we poke fun at each other a lot in the movie, and it was particularly fun to film.
great. And the last question about this movie, what was your favorite scene or moment while filming it?
So, okay, my favorite scene uh, was probably there's a sequence where my character Robert um, discovers that Christina has this power to hear people say what they want for Christmas. And Robert doesn't fully believe it, so he keeps testing it out. And there's a great sequence where he is fighting the powers to be able uh, to say what he wants for Christmas, and he kind of has a big fight with himself, and that was pretty ridiculous and fun to film. And the director Sean Cisterna encouraged me to go very broad and very big, and I was pretty happy and proud with what came out.
Great. So, change of subject, talking about your career in general, your past career of the past. So,
Yeah,
you mentioned it before. I would like to talk a little bit about Degrassi.
sure.
And what can you share about your experience on this set?
What can I share about my experience on the sets? It was like my second high school. I mean, in some ways, I think I spent more time on the Degrassi set than I did at my real high school. So when I think of that show, I think of my old high school friends, and we would shoot and we would hang out and we would make fun of each other, and our characters went through, because it was a drama, like our characters would go through these intense things, and we'd support each other. And I think about, yeah, I think about really, it was such a formative time. So I think about really growing up, and uh and learning to love acting, being on a set. It was sort of my acting school. um so I had a great time, and it was just really blessed, really really lucky that I got that opportunity when I was so young.
Great. Another shows you have you joined in the past is the Suits.
Hmm.
Okay. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, what can you share about this this period of your time and your favorite memories about it.
Oh my God. Well, firstly, I was a huge fan of the show before I got the role on it. So I think that's the first time that I had binge watched, or, I'd seen every episode, and then suddenly I was coming on to that show. So I was so nervous because I knew everyone's storylines and I knew everyone's character, and I was sort of trying not to fan out or geek out. Um, I remember in my first episode, I had a few scenes with Meghan Markle, which was really fun. And I didn't know. It's funny. I knew her from the show, but I didn't really know that she was dating the prince or anything like that. And I came up to her and I introduced myself. I said, "I'm Jake. What's your name?" And the whole crew like stopped and turned to look. Like, "Are you insane? She's the most famous person on the planet." She was really nice. She said, "Oh my God, I'm sorry I didn't introduce myself. I'm Megan," and she was awesome. Um, yeah, I mean, my favorite scenes. I love the character Lewis, and every scene I got to do with Lewis was such a highlight because he's such a lightning bolt of energy and craziness, and the actor Rick Hoffman would improvise a lot, so I never knew what was going to happen in those scenes or how they would go. He would we would be joking that he would start shouting at my character, that it was just wild. So pretty yeah, it was a pretty exciting opportunity, and really fun to shoot those scenes.
Great. So, you have become such a familiar face to Hallmark fans. What do you think it is about Hallmark's holiday films that resonates so deeply with audiences? And what it is like to be part of such a beloved network?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think right now the world it's on fire a little bit. And I feel like these movies are an opportunity to get some comfort. I think they're joyful. I think they have great values. I know family is so important to me. And so getting to do movies that really puts family first, um, I really connect to that. And I know other people do too. Um, so I think I think that's one of the reasons that a lot of people like that. We know relatively what the story is going to be, but we don't know how it's going to turn out. And that kind of comfort, I think, has a real important place in our world right now. Um, and what's been really nice is in the last few years, I've done a couple Hallmark movies, and I've got to meet a lot of really great people. Like I think that's been one of the joys of this is you acquire like a new best friend for the shoot, and getting to connect with a new person, really getting to know someone, and having a camera kind of watch that is is really fun for me, and I think really fun and exciting for an audience.
Yeah, absolutely. So, change of subject again.
Yes.
This is a question I made to all the artists I have the pleasure to talk with. So, what have been some of the most memorable projects you have worked on throughout your career and why?
Mm-hmm. Oh man. Uh, I probably could come up with an answer for every project I've done, but recently I did a few episodes of a show called The Umbrella Academy, and when I got the role, they informed me that they wanted to put me in a full bodysuit and distort my face with prosthetics, and I had never done anything like that in my life. So that was wild to get to shoot something looking like a totally different human. I got to do fight scenes on the show. Um, I also think the writing and the stories on that show are really great. Um, and then I've been really lucky. I mean, I grew up doing theater and musical theater, and that was my dream when I was a kid. So years ago I moved to New York City, and I got to work on Broadway. I did I did Beautiful, the Carole King musical. I did tours of shows that I love, Spring Awakening and Billy Elliot the musical and American Idiot. I got to play Spider-Man on Broadway. Um, those shows, getting to do theater, it holds a big place in my heart. I'm so lucky I get to do stuff on camera. But when I think of my career, I've been really lucky. I got to do something so much in front of a live audience like that.
Great. So, a quick question. At Survival shows, we are big fans of Christmas rom-coms.
Yes.
What is your all-time favorite
Oh, my all-time favorite
Christmas
Christmas
rom?
rom-com.
Yeah,
Oh my God. I mean, look, It's a Wonderful Life is one of my favorite movies of all time. Forget about just rom. I think it's so moving and it's dark and it's funny, and Jimmy Stewart is so lovable and charming, and his performance is so strong. So that would be, I definitely make sure I watch that movie at least once a year. Uh, I think it's just a great movie.
amazing. So, the last question. Can you tease something about your next projects?
Um, let's think. Okay, yes, there's okay, I can tease something, but I'm not supposed to talk about it yet. So
Don't worry.
I'll,
Without
I'll
trouble.
without saying anything, all I'll say is that three of the actors who were in the Unwrapping Christmas story are in this new project I got to do. I believe it's coming out in February, and and yeah, I get it's another it's a really great story. I'm really excited for that. I just finished filming it. Um, and I know I can't. I'm just thinking of what I can sort of say about it, but it hasn't been announced yet. So I think that's all I can say about it at this moment. Other than there's something coming out in February with some familiar faces. I believe it's going to be on Hallmark Plus, so that'll be great.
Did you enjoy that?
It was a really wonderful experience. What actually one of the best experiences I've had.
Catherine said to me and teased a little bit off camera.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Yes.
So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. Yeah. She's the best. Yes. Yeah.
So this is it.
Is this it?
This
Are
is
you satisfied? Is there anything else we
yeah.
haven't
I
covered?
I would like to some more, but this is it.
This is it. This was great.
Yeah.
So nice to meet you. Thanks for asking all
Nice
those
to meet you
questions.
too. And all of you, make sure to go to Unwrapping Christmas Olivia's reunion on Hallmark Plus from these Thursdays. And Sincerely Christmas on Lifetime platform. Thank you, Jake, for
Perfect.
joining us
Thank you so
today.
much. See you, Desiree.
And thank you all for watching. Bye.
Bye.